I love that theme.
Chill tunes, brother. I like it.
In Amberclad, Halo 2. That was the
Ah,
tune for the day.
okay. I only just started playing Halo 2. Actually, my father-in-law, he's got the classic Xbox hooked up to one of the two TVs down in the family room down here. The TV he
Mm-hmm.
brought from his garage when he moved in with us, and he's got his Xbox hooked, his old big fat black Xbox hooked up to
The
it.
original.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
original. And I've got my SF 2000 Data Frog hooked up to the other component ends, so I can play on the TV. Um,
Nice.
yeah, because the other television in the family room, that's just the kids. They if they come downstairs and they want to watch TV down there, that's what they watch on. So yeah. Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Culling of the Nerd with your fabulous host, Brother Cortex, and the
Right.
less
Yeah.
fabulous co-host,
That way.
ByronofSidius. Yeah,
I was
stage
trying to
right,
figure out my
stage right.
direction here, but yeah. Um. Yeah. My Pikmin finally finished, so I'm gonna
Nice.
put that where it needs to go. But
I'll clarify for folks too if they're wondering. Like, we usually start around 10 o'clock, 10:15. I fucked up. I didn't clarify to Brother Cortex. Um, I might have to drop out abruptly to go get my wife at work because her foot's swelling up from an unknown extent injury from the other day. And Cortex was like, "All right, well, we're just chit chatting on the phone." I'm like, "All right, brother, I'm ready to go live when you are." He's like, "Wait, shit! I thought you were saying you didn't want to go live." I'm like,
that's
"Ah,
what I
I should have
thought, man.
clarified. I should have clarified. That was my bad. Sorry about that, brother.
Oh, you're good,
That's
man.
not his. That's not his fault. That's not his fault. That's on me." But dude, you were talking about you're looking up emulators, you're grabbing Pikmin, um,
Yep.
just old school games, man. Some of them are so much fun. I was putzing around about 10, 15 minutes ago, restarting River City Ransom EX on my Game Boy Advance emulator,
Mm-hmm.
and I had forgotten that when you start that game, it automatically starts you on hard difficulty and maximum enemies on screen at once. And I'm just getting fucking beat to death back and forth. Getting the brakes beat off me. I'm like, what the shit? I used to be pretty good at this game. What happened? And I go into the settings. I'm like, oh, god damn it. I forgot to drop the max number of enemies on screen and reduce the difficulty back to normal so that I could actually like get reacquainted with the game because I can't remember how to do any moves or combos. I got to go back through and figure that out. The reason I'm even deciding to play it is because it is a quick pick up and play game. Having an emulator, I can just save state, turn the game off, pick it up, load right into it in about 10 seconds, pick up and play.
Mm.
That's why I love emulation.
Yeah, even if a game doesn't have like a save state, like the emulator itself does.
Right. The emulators, they have save states. And that's, let me tell you, for a guy like me, that is the ideal.
Gotta add that to my collection of emulators. I've got, let's see here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17. 17 emulators in my collection.
Damn, brother.
Yep. Archiving games.
Hey, you got to make sure you've got access to them.
Mm-hmm.
So many classic titles disappear every day without a trace. It's like, where the hell are you going
Well,
to get a hold of
that's even, I'm glad you brought that up. Like,
it? Ooh,
Steam, they've been doing that with a lot of games lately. And a lot of it has to do with licensing issues.
that's not surprising. There's a number of
games will be on the shop for one day, and then the next day they're gone. You can't buy them anymore.
Yep, they poof away.
Mm-hmm.
That's I've seen as a console gamer, I've seen that occur with the Xbox 360 was the first time I noticed it when I was no longer able to access and play Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 unless I had the physical disc in the drive.
That disc is going for a lot of money right now.
Oh, I can imagine because they don't
Even
have the license.
the G2A, like the key shop for games, because Marvel, yeah, the Marvel Alliance game. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Marvel Alliance, and there's the other one. I can't think of the name of it. It was like something. Hold on, I'm going to have to look the name up. It was Marvel
Is it
Alliance and
Midnight
another
Sun?
one. But anyhow, the like the keys that you enter to play the game to install them, like the shop keys or the product keys,
Yeah.
they're going for a lot of money in G2A. I only seen like one of them that were up there, and it was like
Hmm.
up somewhere to like $1,000 for how much they wanted for it.
Holy shit!
Mm-hmm.
Good God, at that point, grab yourself a copy of PPSSPP and grab the fucking PSP version of Ultimate Alliance 2. Because guess what? It's a little different, but functionally it plays pretty much the same. Dear God.
Well, I'll do you one better. I don't even have to do that because luckily there's a Discord out there dedicated to Marvel Alliance,
Nice.
and they've got mods for it, new skins for characters, and all sorts of cool stuff. And they still keep the game alive.
Good.
Um,
Boy.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to show that off because I'm actually looking at it right now.
Now, do you happen to know, is that just for Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2? Because I know the third one is exclusive to the Switch. Um, I had been considering grabbing a copy of it because I don't own a Switch. My daughter does, and I don't want to borrow her system to play it. But I thought she might be interested, and I floated the idea because I found a copy of it at my local GameStop. It's one of the cheaper games that they're carrying for the Switch. It's like $23.
Honestly, dude, I could probably get this for you and you could probably run it. The game's not really that demanding to play.
Which game is it?
Um, this is Marvel Alliance, if I'm not mistaken. Hang on. I might be mixing this up, but hold up. Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah, I've got the first one on my PS2, and I've got the second one for my Xbox 360, a system which I have, but hold on, I have it down here in my office, just kind of gathering dust. Well, not even dust. I've got it wrapped up down here under the desk, but I don't have it hooked up to a TV anywhere in the house.
Hang on a second here. I can't do that. Well, then we'll do this then.
It's weird. If I count this Xbox 360, I have all three generations of Xbox in my house. This is my father-in-law's classic OG Xbox. I've got my Xbox One hooked up in my wife's in my bedroom, and I've got the 360 sitting here. I am not a Microsoft whore. I'm a console gamer who wants to get a PS2 again.
Yeah, they've got Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 and 3, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1.
Nice.
There was another game they had on here, but it's called Marvel Mods. and they continued to, let the game flourish and did a lot of things to it to keep it going. Yeah, I mean, they even have characters as far as Beetlejuice you can throw into the game.
Nice. Like custom-made characters for the game?
Yep.
Dude, that's fucking cool. I love that.
Yep.
Independent modders are some of the underappreciated people in gaming. They really are.
Mm-hmm. They even
People
have
say,
the
"Oh,
fucking Deus Ex guy here.
oh no shit,
Yep.
dude, that's fucking." Oh, you know who I would love to see like modded and put in that game is Alex Mercer from Prototype.
I'm sure he's here somewhere.
Oh, dude, that would be just
They even have The Witcher in here.
Holy shit, Geralt!
Yep.
That's awesome, huh, dude? I know this is like completely like niche nerding out, but that's fucking cool.
They even have Mortal Kombat characters like Johnny Cage here.
Johnny Cage, as is Johnny Cage. I can barely see him, but I recognize the stance and the shades. Come on.
Yep, they even had One Punch Man and a bunch of other characters
Saitama.
in here. But yeah. Oh yeah, there's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Dude, cool. Man, love this shit.
Yep.
Well,
Oh yeah.
for anyone watching,
check that out.
right
There's
now.
Yondu from Guardians of the Galaxy. Yondu.
Oh shit! Right.
Got Michael Rooker played as.
Yep. Look, folks, if you're watching now or watching later, after this show has been archived onto Brother Cortex's channel, some
That's what it
folks
was.
are
X-Men
occasionally.
Legends. They also have
Oh
X-Men
yeah,
Legends.
those precursors to the Alliance games.
Yep.
I sometimes surprise people with how many different areas of nerddom I have reached into as a fan over the years. Don't be surprised. I have never watched One Punch Man, but I know the character's name and I know the basic setup. Just because I know a character's name doesn't mean I actually understand or know the property or any of the episodes.
Godzilla.
Dude! Look! Here's Godzilla! He's attacking city! He's asleep! The lips not matching anything on screen. That's racist. That's funny. Sorry, folks. Just is.
Do they really have Master Chief here?
Master. Oh shit. Yeah. Master Chief and Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he really wouldn't be much different than like Nick Fury's initial move set, I would imagine. Kind of the gunning soldier, as it were.
Oh, yeah. By the way,
Hey,
who says hello?
Oh, Kite. Oh, the snuggly kitty. Oh.
Yeah, she's all sprawled out on my arm.
She is a cute kitty cat.
Yeah. She got her belly full this morning. Now she's wanting to be all lovey-dovey.
Hey, nothing with that. That's a satisfied pet.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to have a companion in the home when they're happy.
She's like, all right, Dad, let me down now. I want to go and do some crazy kitten shit.
Our dogs are pretty happy, but that's usually because they're beating the shit out of each other.
But yeah, I mean, This is why I cannot emphasize enough about modders and indie developers because they do wonderful things like I just showed you guys. They took a game that was ultimately dead and brought it back to life, even with modding support. Um,
You don't get that out of straight standard developers.
Mostly the AAA developers. AAA developers don't care about mod support. In fact, they hate it because they can't monetize the content that people make for it.
Right? It's the whole. Well, where's my cut?
Yep.
You should have thought to put that in yourself, man. It's one of the things that I have yet to see someone throw it directly in a developer's face. And maybe it's because I'm not perpetually on X. Maybe somebody has already pointed this out to a developer at some point to be like, hey, you know those modders who you're constantly trying to put out cease and desist letters to, and you get their project shut down because you're coping and seething over the fact that they're making supported material for your intellectual property after you've moved on to the next thing. Yeah, did you ever stop to think that maybe you could have profited off of it if you'd have had the skill to do it yourself?
Or at least induct that team to do something with them.
Right. Offer them a job, man.
Right. If they've done that much, why not be like, we need to look into this? This
Right.
is considerable. You know what I mean? Like, this
Right.
is considerable evidence. Like, hey, we might be able to do something with this, but no.
yeah,
You
exactly.
gotta
Like,
add
hey,
dumb shit like Nicki Minaj and the fucking skins and charge $24 for the skin.
right. Why not instead say, hey, you over there, modder, would you like a gig contract to make make some of these and skins you've created available in our game, our core game? We'll cut you in on a profit or give you a contract up front. But since you've already put in the work, we'll offer you a little stipend, and then you get extra longevity out of this game that you thought was never going to have any new life into it.
So that's like SM2. Um, the whole reason why SM2 was taken down, which was the Call of Duty project that people were working on, it was gonna basically take the best things of most of the other games and put them into one game.
Oh,
And
okay.
because of Black Ops 6 coming out this year, Activision put out a cease and desist order to SM2 to shut their project down.
Ah,
You
cranks.
know why?
Because they knew
Because
it would impact their sales.
exactly, that was exactly it.
Yeah, dude, I'm sorry, but at that point, I would take it as, hey, folks over at SM2, would you like to do like a collaborative promotion project? Or let's say anyone who's playing SM2, if they want to purchase the new Modern Warfare coming out, if they use a promo code SM2, then we'll give them a percentage off. But we want, a contractual agreement
Well,
that you will
SM2 was
contribute
going to be
material.
free.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, use the promotion code SM2 to get a discount on the new Modern Warfare game. You could use it as like a cross promotional thing to say, like, okay, we know people are going to play SM2 free of
Well, the new
charge.
game's Black Ops 6. That's the new one. That's going to be
Yeah.
coming out soon. And honestly, I'm not buying it. It looks it just looks I just don't
You're
care.
not excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not excited at all by any means.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest, like, coming out soon or in the near future game that I really want to be able to set aside for that I I I'm still a little uncertain of whether or not I can justify the expenditure or paying for it yet is when that Metal Slug Tactics comes out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna want to play it. I know I'm gonna want to play it. It's just a matter of budgeting in order to grab a copy of it when it comes out. Thankfully, that's not going to be super expensive.
Yeah,
Um,
no, I don't see that game being expensive at all.
no, probably not, and I'll be able to justify purchasing it because it just looks like so much fucking fun.
The Dark
Metal
Souls
Slug and
franchise
Tactics, man.
sale. The Dark Souls franchise sale's going on. So
Is that
there's
just the three core games?
I'm sorry.
Is that just the three core games?
It looks like, yeah, just the 3 core games. Dark
Okay.
Souls 3, Dark Souls 3 Deluxe Edition, Dark Souls Remastered, Dark Souls 2. Fuck Dark Souls 2. I
You
can't
got
tell if, oh man.
so pissed.
I can't tell if that game was just badly done or just really fucking hard. Or both.
Well, once you showed me the biggest, what the fuck are you thinking was getting interrupted when passing from one section through the fog into the next section.
Oh god, yeah, that
The
was the worst
transition.
shit ever in that game. Trying to get into a
Transition.
boss arena and like even when you're trying to get into the boss arena, enemies could still attack you and hit you while you're transitioning through the fog. And it was so slow.
You're basically just opening up your backside.
Oh yeah, dude. Like I forget the name of it. I think it was like the Iron Forge, Iron Castle, whatever. No, the Iron Keep. That's what it was. They had fucking knights with katanas. Let me say that again. They had knights with
Knights,
katanas.
katanas.
Do you
Aren't
know
they
what a
supposed to
katana
use?
is?
Yeah, aren't they? Aren't knights supposed to use broadswords or long swords?
Knights with katanas.
Yeah, no. Samurai are supposed to use katana, not knights.
Well, this is Dark Souls. They don't really go off historical accuracy, but
Hmm.
this the that alone should be frightening. Knights with katanas, and they were
Super
quick.
fast,
Oh yeah,
super
they were
fast,
super
and yet
fast,
tank armored.
and they ran at you really quick, and they
Yeah, no,
were a
thank you.
bitch to take down. Like, and there were a bunch of them. Like they just kept coming. You kill one,
Fuck
there's two
that.
of them running at you.
That's kind of like the dragonkin in Torchlight 2. Um, the only way that I was ever able to deal with them was because I used the trap maker character. Like you
Mm-hmm.
just got to lay down a bunch of traps between you and the fucking dragon. Just keep up. If there's two or three of them, you're Fucksville. You have to lay traps and continuously back away through three rooms. Let them take themselves out on your traps until they're at quarter health, and then engage them. Because if you try to muscle your way through, you're gonna get completely destroyed. Especially since any ranged weapon, the dragonkin only take half damage from. So it doesn't matter if you're shooting at them at a distance; they're just gonna shrug it off and then eat your face. I fucking hate dragonkin.
During my Soulsborne playthrough. Pretty sure this is the Iron Keep. Souls are actually a lot more important in this game. Oh, hold on, I gotta skip forward a little bit. my fucking quality is going to shit here. Nope, I gotta go back one, because that's not where I get introduced to the knights, because I had killed them so many times so they stopped spawning.
Oh, okay.
I literally had ran through that area so much that the enemies had stopped spawning.
Whoa. I didn't know
That
it was
was the
that
thing
fast.
about Dark Souls 2. I don't know why it was like that. Yeah, when you get introduced to Iron Keep, man, it's a nightmare. Hang on.
No problem.
Where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Oh, here we go. Yeah, I think it's about right here. Yeah, I also had to fight this guy. We had invaders in areas. They were like AI invaders. They would pop up from time to time.
Wait, what are you talking about, Scuba?
Yep, this is the beginning right here. Here we go.
All right.
It's a little blurry. I had some quality issues at the time. Oh,
what
yeah.
the fuck killed me?
That fire apparently killed me. Or the knight. I can't remember.
He just moved up over your corpse really fast from out of screen.
Yeah. Well, that's what they do.
Over here.
There we go. There's like a whole bunch of these knights here. I had like one of the most overpowered weapons in the game. It was the rapier saber. It was pretty good, but
That's attack, yeah.
well, you could spam the attack really quick. Trying to get to the part where because there's archers and knights. It's pretty wild.
Holy, slow down, Captain.
Here we go. Watch this right here. I've got archers shooting big arrows at me.
Oh, shit.
Dude, what the shit? You calling a lever? What? Whoa! Arrows from wherever.
Holy shit, bro.
What the
fuck
hell?
happened there? Yeah, dude.
They didn't even use lube. They just straight up fucked you.
Not to mention the archer above me shooting arrows at me.
That's not taking off an insignificant amount of health either. I am very fortunate I skipped by these games.
Look at how many there are.
Whoa!
Oh shit!
One to greet you with it, and then there's
Oh
another
my
fucker right there.
god,
and then
dude!
one
Look at
to
how
greet
many
you.
there are, though. Oh my god!
6 of them?
There were at least
Shit.
5 or 6 in that area, bro. There's so fucking many of them. Yeah. Yeah. That was pain.
Screw all that noise, man.
That was fucking pain.
Like back in my heyday, before I, had kids and all kinds of adult kind of obligations, being a family guy and having the full-time job and the writing and the reading, and basically before I had obligations as a father, I would spend an inordinate amount of time focusing on a single game. I think I'm grateful that the Dark Souls games didn't come out until after I'd already had kids. So I probably would have lost myself in just trying over and over again to bash my head against the wall with that.
I can't help it. When you said that about being a normal guy, I gotta play this now.
Uh-oh.
Go through my day pretty normal. Like, I'm a normal guy. I'm a swell guy. I'm a nice enough guy. I'm a cool kind of guy. I'm a pretty groovy guy. But then I get a little sugar in me and I start to go cuckoo. Doesn't have to be much. This time around, it was two of 501 brownies. Only 90 calories each, but they do the job. Do you know what I'm saying? They get me going. They get me riled up. A little cuckoo, a little wacky. Start getting me a little kooky. A little, loopy. Ooh. Hey, somebody put this kid in a padded cell. Get him a straitjacket. He's going a little wacky. A little kooky. He's off the walls. Bananas. Loco. You want me to stop. Isn't that wonderful? Well, let me just do whatever you say because it's your little fairy tale.
I
That was
pray
Sam Hyde.
not that
That was Sam Hyde.
bad. Okay, I was vaguely familiar. Okay.
That dude's hilarious. His mom was like pissed off at him. He's just sitting there in the bathroom. And you can hear in the background, she's like, "Will you please stop?"
Yeah. Thought I heard her back there. Uh,
Whoa.
so speaking of, what's up?
This looks like some SCP type shit. I'm all for it.
That's an expression. What's up?
Um,
What you looking at?
there's this game called Lamentations. I'm looking at a trailer for it. It just popped up.
Hmm.
This actually looks really good. It's like Backrooms and SCP. You're playing as like a containment force.
My flesh and my skin waste away. He has broken my bones. He has besieged and enveloped me with bitterness. He has made me dwell in darkness like the dead of long ago. With bitterness and tribulation. Like the dead. Dwell in darkness. And tribulation. Broken my bones. Like the dead. Like the dead of long ago.
That actually looks really
Pretty
good.
cool.
I just seen it pop up. I'm
That'd be
like,
pretty
what is
cool.
this? You know what your boy's about
Yet
to
again, unheard of studio. Me. Indies. That's where it's at. Because the AAAs and the mainstay studios, they're going through it. They're going through it in video games, in films, and television.
do. Even got a demo.
I am putting mind. I'm putting mind of article that I'm currently in the process. I don't usually do a lot of nonfiction observation pieces on my Substack, or even when I do like videos. I don't usually do a lot of cultural commentary. I, for the most part, only really engage in those discussions when you and I are on here. But
Mhm.
I'm in the process of writing up a piece for my Substack right now entitled "The Backswing Has Only Just Begun," and I'm about 1,500 words into it right now. Um, if you will indulge me, brother, just as kind of a preview, I'll read off a portion of it right now, if you're cool with that.
Okay. Go for it.
All right. This section is subtitled, "Who Watches This?" The Marquis de Sade had a few quirks when it came to his personal bedroom playtime preferences, to put it mildly, and it is largely thanks to his mad scribbling on the topic that the people of the world have an understanding of sadism and masochism. What does this have to do with the current television and film scene? Well, I think his essence must be riding pretty hard on the psyches of anyone who has sat down and consumed more than the average amount of the slop being offered up to us as viewers in the streaming television and cinema audience for the last few years. Some culture critics peg the start of this phenomenon at around the 2016 mark, with the all-female attempt at a Ghostbusters film,
Oh boy.
featuring a cast of ladies who themselves probably aren't averse to pegging as well. Gotta love wordplay. This soulless and lethally unfunny, unimpressive endeavor to feminize a franchise that wasn't even couched in the concept of masculine energy in the first place, but rather humor, started a trend in film and television that even to this day hasn't shown any signs of slowing down in terms of production, though the audience engagement and enjoyment has nosedived harder than a kamikaze pilot spotting an aircraft carrier off the coast of the Hawaiian Islands. Banzai! The box office returns for that piece of cinematic putrescence were not great, to say the least. Ditto the 2019 retry of Charlie's Angels, a film which was touted quite loudly by its director and by promotional experts as not for men. When the movie subsequently bottomed out in ticket sales so shamefully that were it an Edo era samurai, it would have committed ritual seppuku, the backlash from said director and her coven of shrieking supporters came in the form of the question, why didn't any of you men come out and support our girl boss film? Well, we collectively replied, you told us from the outset that the damn thing wasn't for us. So we just took you at your balk and steered clear, you feckless clutch of hens.
You have a very Rowan, you have a very Rowan Atkinson way of, applying your words there.
When I take the time to write these things out, especially when I'm feeling snarky, that tends to be my tone. It tends to be my approach. There was another piece from it really quick. We will keep our money, thanks. Myself and many other folks, far more influential in the online critique space, have tried time and again to point out that many of these intellectual properties and consumer goods are, at the end of the day, luxury purchases, completely and utterly unnecessary to our day-to-day function and or survival. Are you a beer company that has decided to insult your core conservative customer base by taking on a theater kid playing pretend at being a girl? Okay, well, there's plenty of other beers to choose from. Some of them aren't brewed or distributed by AB InBev. And if that doesn't work, oh, right, consumption of beer products altogether isn't necessary for sustained existence. Maybe I could stand to hold off on the useless calories for a bit anyway, much as you can stand to hold off on getting your hand into my wallet, Bud Light. Good call. Are you a video game developer or publisher who consults with a narrative consultation service whose core goal seems to be alienating the long-standing audience that has kept the entire industry afloat since the late 1980s? And you've decided to let them lecture said audience in the pre-production and marketing and distribution phases, as well as insisting that the Kafka trap deployment of if you don't buy and praise this digital slop that you don't technically own anyhow, you're an istophobic phobophobe, is perfectly fine and dandy? Well, I have either a back catalog of other games to play or, well, plenty of other entertainment options available to me. Thank you. Keep your sweet baby stink, your Kim Belair, and fuck right off. I don't owe you my patronage or my defense.
Or
This
my money.
is right. This is merely the gentle handed approach of deciding that one doesn't wish to partake of a product or service. That, in and of itself, is easy enough for the agenda pushers TM to ignore or hand wave away, because in its most passive form, they can conjure up a dozen different excuses to explain the drop off of interest of purchases. However, when this withholding of funds is coupled with loud and plain spoken explanations regarding why the audience is not going to buy in, well, these people can't very well let that simply stand. Now, can they? No, they have to flail about like donkeys with cattle prods shoved up their backsides and set to the setting titled Tesla would blush in response, howling their indignation and presumptive insults and denigrations towards those who would deny them their monies. You can make the most intersectional thing in all of God's creation for us to try and purchase. But guess what? If it doesn't sell, it doesn't sell. Simple as that. And you can't lie your way out of that.
How's it said in the, I'm trying to think of the show. It's like deadliest weapon. It will not kill.
Yeah, this will not kill. What do you mean? It will not kill. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. If your
No.
whole drive is to say, well, we know better. Do I need what you're selling? Well, no, but I don't need it.
I don't need it and I don't want it.
Exactly. It's fascinating to me that the same bunch of pearl clutching screamos want to sit there and say, well, I'm free to do and say and behave and live my life in the way that is truest to me. Okay, counterpoint. I am free to live my life my way, which is by not buying your shit. Well, you can't do that because you're an Istaphobic, and if you don't support it, then blah, 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 you're an evil, mean person and an orange man bad. What?
Yeah, pretty much.
You need to go get another ECT treatment because I think that's the only way you're going to normalize here, sister. Are you assuming my gender? No, I'm not assuming your gender, but you're shrieking like a fucking woman. All right? I'm sorry. What do you want me to say? You know?
Yeah.
It's the same bunch of people too. You've got these Megan Rapinoe sorts, the chief running with scissoring out there who talk about you have to be supportive of our causes.
No, I don't.
Okay, how about you reciprocate and quit telling me that I'm a piece of shit?
Mm-hmm.
Well, don't you want to be a good ally?
No,
You don't
I
want an
don't.
ally. You want a fucking hostage who you can put your hand up their backside so far that every time they open their mouth, we can see your fingernails when they're talking. Am I wrong?
Not at all. No. That's why I said what I said. I don't need to support anybody I don't wish to.
No, no, you don't. That's why I'm kind of glad. And this was we were talking yesterday a lot about Dragon Age,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to dive a little bit more into finding out who's been working on developing and writing the Veilguard.
Oh
And
boy.
I'm really thankful. I'm actually very thankful to have discovered that of the original, or not the original team, but the team that worked on the writing and story design and narrative design and world building elements from Inquisition, of the team of I think it was 35 people who helped write elements and components for Inquisition, only two continued to work on the Veilguard. Two out of 35. That tells me that a lot of people either moved on and were like, they're working for other companies. That happens. People grow, they change direction. Maybe they went to a whole different field of work. Who knows? But there had to have been at least a handful of people who said, wait, you want us to do what with this world? Peace, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I refer to the Bantam Del Rey situation when even Bantam Del Rey says, nah, we'll pass. You got a shit product on your hands.
Yeah. I can't get down with any of that. To me, let things be the way they are. If you don't like them, don't associate with them. Enough said.
Yeah, and like I
But
would
don't
I
try to
would
make
not
me like your shit.
exactly like, hey, want to make it? You want to this product and put it out there and market? Okay, fine. I'm not going to try to stop you, and I don't want anyone to go out of their way to maliciously interfere with these people. And let me clarify that because that's something that I think gets lost in the conversation. is a lot of these screamos and harpies. They treat your indifference or apathy toward their project as if it's an active attack against them. No, it's not. We're standing back here going, "You're doing what? It's for what purpose?"
Well,
Thanks.
I hate to bring this up, but I mean, look at the Hurricane Helene. You know, that's becoming a political matter for whatever fucking reason. When in reality, it should be more of a humanity fucking matter, if anything.
Yeah, it's a humanitarian disaster.
Like, people lost their lives. I mean, they lost fucking everything. Who cares about what's going on politically? How about we worry about getting people there help?
Yeah, no
Help
shit.
getting people out
What
of
was
there that are starving or
what was this shit too? Just this morning about that the local, not local, but emergency response authorities are not allowing people to fly drones into the area to
or
search for.
helicopters.
You need air help. Why would you say no?
And from what I've also heard, FEMA is taking people's truckloads of supplies and storing them in warehouses.
Yes, read a little bit about that yesterday. That there's a handful of private persons and volunteer organizations that are small scale that are trying to send aid, trying to send material assistance. That FEMA's stepping in and like they're confiscating shit and saying, "Well, you're not authorized to distribute this help."
Well, how's the old saying go? If the government comes by and says we're here to help,
Ronald Reagan, 1980, 1982. There's a 9-word sentence that is the most terrifying to hear in the English language. It's "I'm from the federal government and I'm here to help."
yeah, they're not there to help.
During the again, we don't usually dive into politics, but
I
around
don't, but I had to bring it up. But the fact
that's
of the matter
okay.
is, there are people out there that are trying to make it a political matter and saying,
And they should
oh,
deserve
well,
it.
you know, people that are there that are conservative or Republican, oh, well, they deserved it because they voted for the opposition of their candidate. And it's like,
Shit.
how do you get that? Like, if that's where your mind went, you need some serious fucking help.
Yeah, this is the same bunch of fuckers who back in the snowstorm of 2018 told the folks in Texas when they had no power, well, this is what you deserve for voting for Trump and for voting for Ted Cruz. Get the fuck out of here with that inhumane horse shit. You want to say that people who are on the right, to the right of Lenin or fucking Mao are evil fuckers and they treat people as subhuman? What do you call this? There was a brief.
Oh, and I am going to throw this out there to FEMA. Fuck every last one of you. You're a bunch of evil bastards, and I hope you get what's coming to you. I said what I said.
I don't blame you for it either. Not a bit. Yeah. I just, I can't with these people.
It's a bunch of bullshit, bro. None of it should be happening. None of it.
No. But
no, I mean, that's not something I want to get into and talk about throughout the stream, but it had to be said.
No, it's all right because it did remind me of a political joke that I wanted to in there that lines up with great quotes from history. During the presidential debate, there was a moment where J.D. Vance got cut off by the moderators.
Mm-hmm.
He got quote unquote fact checked, and they eventually cut off his mic, where the woman was saying, these migrants in Springfield, Ohio, were granted legal status. I so wanted Vance to jump in and no, they were granted temporary legal protection, not status. And problem with it being temporary on any kind of government level is something we were warned about by Milton Friedman a long time ago. And you can find this line in all kinds of Friedman's writings because he mentioned it numerous times. There is nothing more permanent in this life than a temporary government program.
Yeah, well, this program is fucking a lot of us over.
Yep. What
All the
kills me too
funding
about
that could be going to Culling is going to people that aren't even from here.
Right, and that who, by all rights, should have been gone a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Where does all the money go? And I'm going to wrap this back around into our usual conversational subset. Funding from government programs. There is a certain amount of money, United States taxpayer dollars, that went into the funding of the development of Dustborn. Were you aware of this?
Wait, say that again?
The game Dustborn.
Yeah.
You're familiar with that train wreck, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Through the NEA, the National Endowment for the Arts, $115,000 from the annual budget was allocated and given to the developers of Dustborn. Dustborn was not developed by American developers or programmers. It was programmed and developed by programmers in the Netherlands. Why did they receive American taxpayer dollars from the NEA for this video game?
Yeah.
It's infuriating. We can't get mid-sized publishers who jump through all kinds of hurdles and hoops for years on end to try and get a single grant application given a green light. They can't even get 10 grand to purchase a new printer. But we're going to give $115,000 from the NEA to a foreign video game production team to build a game rife with anti-American, anti-Western values propaganda? What are we doing?
Yeah. Yep.
But I'm glad that game face planted as hard as it did. I'm also
As
glad
it should have.
that they were granted the opportunity to try their hand in the marketplace. Because, again, to quote Friedman, Milton Friedman, and also to quote Ludwig von Mises, the market corrects for errors. This was clearly an error. You shouldn't have tried to do this because the people who are your potential customers, they're not interested. They don't want this. The game will be marked down as a colossal commercial failure, as it should be, quite rightly. My concern comes in not so much that the attempt was made, because as I said, I don't want anyone to actively try to stop these people from creating their own artistic projects. This was an intellectual property built from the ground up to try and make a splash in the marketplace. And it failed, as it should have failed, as it rightly failed. No one actively tried to stop it. That should tell the developers a very harsh truth, which is the following. Even when our side of the cultural conversation does not put roadblocks in your way, you still failed.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if we had put up roadblocks in your way. You people would have never gotten anywhere.
Absolutely.
I am sick to death of this constant barrage of pressure campaigns being thrown out there and roadblocks and caltrops thrown in the path of anyone who is even so much as neutral middle of the road to try and curtail any potential success they might have in the open and equal fair marketplace. And when it is pointed out that, hey, you people are messing with us, you're actively trying to stop us from doing something, we're told, no, we're not. You're not being messed with. It's all in your head. Cancel culture isn't real. Bitch, you tried to get me fired. You went to my bank and got my funds cut off. What the fuck are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
There's a
Cancel culture
guy.
is very much real.
There's a guy who is on YouTube who's starting to really blow up. Who I enjoy. His name is Smash JT, and he's under the unfortunate attentions of a Kotaku editor and
Of
contributor
course.
by the name of Alyssa Mercante.
Oh boy.
And yeah, this bitch.
I shrug every time I hear that name because it's like, oh god.
She got some fuckwit fly by night legal team to send Smash JT a cease and desist letter claiming that he has been defaming her in his videos and that he has been damaging her reputation or attempting to damage her reputation. This from the same bitch who about 4 or 5 months ago had contacted Smash's wife personally and directly through Facebook Messenger to try and convince her to divorce him. Who is trying to ruin someone's reputation, bitch? I'm
Right.
sorry. If we take away or convince online audiences to stop reading your dreck, it hurts your pocketbook, maybe, through Kotaku noticing, hey, people don't like you. Shut the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
That's reputational damage based on your job and the marketplace. And while
Yeah,
that
but I mean, when you
be
go like to the point of your personal life,
right, you're going
like
after this dude's fucking
yeah,
relationship. You're going
your
after his
personal life,
marriage.
your financial situation, and everything, yeah, that's going above beyond.
Yeah. And this cunt wants to sit there and scream, victim, you're bullying me?
Oh yeah, because it fits her narrative. Because she's a woman.
Go back to sucking dick for money, lady. I'm sorry. You
Yeah,
want
go
to sit
back
there
to
and claim, she wants to sit there and claim that he is damaging her reputation and denigrating her character, or that he is defaming her by pointing that out or making that observation. That yet she has herself said in the past that she was a sex worker. That's a very broad, generic way of describing what you did. You never specified if you're, and this is the kind of woman
She's no
who
stranger to the
loves,
shaft.
no, but she loves using the tool set of interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
It works both ways, bitch. Death of the Author is a scalpel whose handle is coated in baby oil. If you aren't careful and not skilled with it, you're gonna cut yourself. Congratulations, Alyssa. You're bleeding.
Yeah, I don't even understand why anybody takes her seriously at all. She's like a little girl in an adult body. Like she stubs her toe and blames a man.
I will say this. Screams and liberal. Exactly,
Mhm.
Sam. I will say this, and it's the only. It pains me to say it, but I will confess to it. I've read a couple of her articles. Okay.
Oh boy.
When she is not being a harpy, Mercanti's narrative voice is actually really well constructed. She's got a capacity with the language that can be couched with dry humor and some wit. She does have a capacity for it. And she does employ a decent technique with alliterative and illustrative language when she focuses on it. However, the whole technique is poisoned the moment she gets past the pretty language and gets down into the brass tacks of how she feels. It's ruined. It's absolutely ruined. She has definitive talent as a writer, and it is wasted because the first third of what she's writing gets me to grin, maybe offer a dry chuckle, and actually enjoy that. Hey, there's some good descriptive language here. There's some concepts being very clearly and concisely conveyed.
I might think that if I didn't know who it was coming from, if I couldn't put
Right.
a face to it. But if I
And
put
then
a
what
face to it,
happens?
then I'm like, no, I'm
Right.
good.
And then what happens after those first couple paragraphs? She drops her trousers and diarrhea is all over the rest of it.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's like having a prize-winning dog that can't control its bowels.
No, here's what really happens. She writes that little bit that's good, and then she leaves that piece of paper on her bed, sits on a camera, and then, opens up the dam.
Are we bad people? We're bad people for enjoying this. Oh, but to quote
She opens up the
PPP,
flood. She opens up the floodgate on it.
it's a brown deluge. No, but it's true.
I don't know about that deluge, but there was an exchange of liquids of sort.
She gets on there after having a visit from Chad. Oh,
Oh god.
oh God.
Yeah, it might be a hair or two.
Oh, maybe a high school ring or three drops out of there. Anyway,
Good god. Yeah, I mean, I wonder what tuna smelled like before women were put in the water.
over the years, we have had
Oh man.
some distinct
That
sex symbols.
heck. I wonder what tuna smelled like before Alyssa Mercante was in the water.
Over the years, we have had some prime sex symbols come
God.
out with their own perfumes. Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, you know, all kinds of gorgeous women who have come out and had their own scent for us to catch a whiff of. And now There's a new eau de toilette released from Kotaku.com known as Mercante. If you've ever wanted to know what a longshoreman smells like after a long day of gutting rotten fish, you only need 1 or 2 puffs of Mercante.
Yeah.
The commercial would just be some guy going, "Ah!" Mercante.
Mercante
The
fragrance.
From Calvin Klein. Mercante. Ah!
Good God. It would just be like him gagging.
You. And this would be beautiful. We could capitalize on that with a men's body spray called Response du Mercante, and it's just the smell of vomit.
Yeah, give me a fucking can of Lysol. Like I'll do fine with that. That's horrible, man.
Hearing the response from someone to that 4 minutes right there was, oh, well, geez, a couple of straight white men being misogynists. You're proving my point.
Yep. But here's the thing, though, about that. Does it make me misogynist if I only think that about one woman that we're talking about?
No, it makes you an observer with an eye set and a nose on your face.
If we're only
Sorry.
talking about one particular woman.
Now, to be clear, after we come back around to it, so Smash JT is facing off with this legal threat from this dipshit fly-by-night legal team, and he issues a response through one Ron Coleman, Esquire, basically slapping them down and telling them, he's not going to apologize. He's not going to retract. He's not going to take down any of the videos. You have no cause of action here. Get fucked. You're a dick. I don't know, Sam, because I was chuckling pretty hard. My whole body's moving.
Long dong
Some maybe
slinger.
Get your balls
John
fucking
Silver,
low,
we got long dong
bro.
slinger there.
So through Ron Coleman, JT's response is basically, no, get fucked. I've done nothing wrong. And so he starts this GoFundMe.
Well, hold on. Before we go into that, I got a question I got to ask because it's kind of burning me right now.
Sure,
Let's say the roles were reversed and these things had been done that Alyssa Mercante had done, like contacting the missus and, doing stuff like that. How much you want to bet that the guy that you're talking about, I just forgot his name already, but how much you want to bet? Well, yeah, JT, how much you want to bet if he did the things that Alyssa Mercante did? How much you want to bet that the internet would literally be burning down because of what he did?
Oh, in a heartbeat. They would have dragged him in the street and flayed him alive. Rusted apple peelers would have been pulled out of kitchen drawers from 15 years ago in order to shave the flesh off of his forearms, and then iodine poured liberally over the wounds. No doubt. I can't for a moment say that it would go any other way.
That's the sad truth about it. Is like it's okay for one side to do it, but it's not okay for the other side to do it.
No, it's the classic rules for thee, but not for me. I fucking hate Tim Pool with a burning passion, but he got that lodged in my fucking skull. I have my reasons for hating him.
I'm not a particular fan of him.
Hey, he's a good news aggregator. That's about it. I'm not going
That's
to get into
about
that.
it. Yeah, like you just said, that's about it.
Yeah, on a personality basis, I'd like to see him launched out of a trebuchet at top speed into a brick wall. Um,
Yeah.
but so Smash starts a GoFundMe
Hmm.
to try and facilitate the payment for legal services in order to defend himself against any forthcoming lawsuits that may be coming barreling down the pike at him, like the boulder of Sisyphus, except going back down the hill. And instead of Sisyphus pushing it back up the hill, Sisyphus is behind the stone, pushing it as hard as he can to bowl down everyone in his path. Um, and the GoFundMe campaign, in a 24-hour period, was reported as suspicious or violative of the terms of service by
Of
so many
course.
people that they reached out to Smash and informed him, we are currently going to suspend this campaign until such time as you are able to do X, Y, and Z. If you do not respond and do X, Y, and Z within 7 days, we will be forced to terminate the campaign and refund all donations effective immediately. I don't know what the current status of that is. I know he made a video last night clarifying that he had begun taking steps to streamline the campaign on GoFundMe so they'll open it back up. A lot of people were quick to point out to him, hey, you should have gone through Give, Send, Go from the drop of the hat, because you had to know that GoFundMe, as soon as that campaign went live, Mercanti and her fucking minions were going to mass flag that campaign to try and stop you from being able to finance your own defense against her. This is the tactic utilized by people of her ilk, which is, I'm not only going to threaten your livelihood and threaten your friendships and your personal relationships and anything and everything that you touch and do and exist by, I am then also going to actively attempt to remove any method you may have to turn to defend yourself against me. And I won't even leave a trace of my having had any hand in it. She can sit there and scream until she's blue in the face that I had nothing to do with it. Do you think? Hold on. Hold on a second. I just need to. Oh, right. I'm not retarded. My favorite flavor isn't purple. Okay. I'm not a window licking ninny. I know that you had something to do with this. Anybody with 4 brain cells to rub together to formulate a coherent thought knows you had something to do with this.
Right.
Don't piss on my head and tell me it's raining.
Yeah.
Does that seem harsh?
No, that's pretty on point.
And maybe it is a little harsh. I'm not usually a fly off the seat of my pants psychopath. Most times, I have my moments. I'm not going to deny that. And sure, there are some folks who I have worked with in my life who have met me in person who have walked away thinking, probably, there's something wrong with that guy. But I ask the question again, am I wrong?
Not at all. Not at all. It's wild the amount of leniency that like people like Listener Conte get when it comes to matters like that, because it's like you're allowed to fucking discontinue somebody's campaign that's against you via funds through GoFundMe, and it's like, okay, you're gonna sit there and deflect the attack that you had started. Like, you can't dish out what you put out. Like, you can't, like what was dished out, you can't take it.
Right. And here's the thing that makes that even worse is Smash is not like he's not punching back. He's just
Essentially, you are
saying
though, but in defense, you gotta think.
right. All he's doing is saying, "Hey, get out of here, back off." That's all he was trying to do.
Right, but I mean, at the same time, though, when it comes to something like this, though, yeah, there has to be something that gives, whether it's, like funds or whatever. But, like, because, yeah, think about it, like, all the damage and, like, the shit that's being done because of that. Like, lawsuits ain't cheap.
No, they're not. Defending yourself is expensive.
So, when it comes to something like that, I mean, money and time, you should definitely take that into consideration.
Right. And let's not forget that Alyssa has, even though they're not exactly reputable or big these days, and they're failing slowly but surely, I'm sure that she could reach out to her bosses at Kotaku and get additional legal team assistance from them. Who does Smash JT have in his corner?
Mm-hmm.
He's turning to GoFundMe because he does not have a team of lawyers on retainer who can afford that.
Well,
Well,
shit. I mean, look at Star Wars Theory. Like what was going on with them?
oh man, they fucking bounced off of his head.
Right, and it's like, it's just crazy the amount of shit that they were trying to do to cancel him because of his opinions of the Acolyte.
Right, like it makes me
It's just,
wonder, like,
yeah.
are you people surprised that nobody wants to cover your shit except for absolute shills? The whole
Mm-hmm.
reason that people get apathetic and just say, I give up, I'm walking away. The reason that the soft response even happens nowadays, that there's not active, fiery pushback at the outset, is because for years we've watched people like Star Wars Theory get fucking jumped up and down on worse than the Koopa in level 3-1 in the original Mario Brothers for Extra Lives. Okay? You could almost hear the on that poor guy's skull.
Yeah, and it's just, I don't know. It's just wild how one-sided it is when it comes to that.
It always is. That's where they end up losing people like me, who I'm not a hardcore right winger. I never have been. I'm just a guy who likes telling stories and a nerd. I'm fairly middle of the road on a lot of things. I'm very, or have been for a long time, I was very tolerant of weirdness that I did not think was helpful or beneficial. But so long as it wasn't actively harmful, I was by and large willing to let it have a pass. But more and more, I'm seeing that when you give that stuff a pass, it opens a wider doorway and lets in a whole lot of harm.
Mm-hmm.
A whole lot of it. It's like,
Yes,
okay,
sir.
little goblin guy, I will let you, little Mr. Goblin, come into my home so that you can pass through to the backyard. And the goblin says, thanks, buddy. and he props the door open with a boot knife. And then what comes crawling in behind him is this giant spider demon dragging its hundreds of shrieking eight-legged babies on its back, each of them with knives at the end of their legs, going, "Blah, blah, blah." I gotta let this fucking thing into my house too?
Right.
Because I let the goblin in. That's how they work. That's how they operate. They know that people like me who try to be understanding, who try to be a little bit more open arm, we're going to let the goblin in. The problem that lies in wait for us is a lot of us will then say, well, shit, I had to let the spider demon in because I wanted to let the goblin pass through. It only seemed right at the time. But then I turn around and the demon spiders are eating my house and setting it on
Then
fire.
turn into termites and start eating the house.
Yeah. Like they evolved once they got into the walls. Like, ooh, here's a rat. I'll eat its meat, like in Final Fantasy Adventure on the Game Boy, and turn into a completely different creature.
You
Like,
said
how the
eat
fuck
its
did that?
meat.
Seriously, you need to look up Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy Legend, not Adventure, on the original Game Boy. This game was weird. When you killed certain monsters, they would drop meat, and one of your party members could choose to eat it. And if you eat the meat, it could change their entire species.
They're out
Fucking
there eating their
bizarre.
meat.
Yep.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
Mercante and her crowd know all about that. Anyway,
Oh, I'm sure they've had plenty of meat down that hallway. Uh-oh. I think he froze. Oh no. I think we
is
lost him.
YouTube saying we're being naughty boys?
Perhaps. For a second, I thought we lost you because you were just frozen place for a second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No, I'm
I
still
made the
here.
joke. I said, yeah, there's been plenty of meat down that hallway. Down that tunnel.
Oh, the Oscar Mayer Wiener truck is rolling on by.
Gotta keep rolling.
Keep them doggies rolling. But yeah, that whole situation just
That's a joke, man.
my heart goes out to guys like that too, especially because he really doesn't have any kind of institutional support behind him. He's just got his fans.
Yeah. Oh, apparently I woke up the kitten's slumber. Now she's coming over to visit me. She's making her approach.
Okay.
Well, I started petting her. She's like, all right, I'll stay here.
Of course. And hey, rest assured, at least that's one puss, unlike Mercante's, that you can put your hands on and not have to burn it off afterwards.
Yep.
I realize that, like, at this point, we're probably skirting the against the border of what YouTube's going to let us get away with. To which I say to Alphabet and
Hey,
Google,
YouTube, Alyssa Mercante's a bitch. I don't give a fuck.
yeah.
No, I said it.
what else is there really to say? That also though that puts me in mind of
Well,
then you've
what's there to
got
say?
smaller.
Here's a pussy I actually love.
Oh, Tikite. I love how she ragdolls on you there, man. She's like, I'm gonna take the loving. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. She's purring
See,
away too. I don't know if you
one of
can
the
hear
things I
that.
love about certain breeds. Oh yeah, wow, she's got a motor. She's got quite a motor. That's a happy cat.
Mm-hmm.
I forget you had told me before. Like, what was the circumstances behind who had her before having to give her to a new home?
Oh man. So I found her on a Facebook page. She was being offered up on this, it was like a free pet page that I come across. And I went to go get her and I drove almost an hour to get to her. And when I got to her, the person that was giving her up was very, very dirty.
Ooh.
I won't name who they are, but we'll just say I could smell the ammonia from the driveway.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah.
Not good. Not ideal by any stretch.
Look at this.
What? Does she have bones? What the hell?
Just sprawled out.
Ah, that's oh my god. You know what? That puts me in mind. This is gonna sound odd. Every night when I get home from work and I poke my head into to my son's bedroom, okay, because the boys have a bunk bed in their room, and their baby sister has her crib across the room from them. When I
Mm-hmm.
poke my head in to check on them when I get home from work at night, every night without fail, my younger son, that's how he's fucking sprawled in his bed, just
Look.
like he's oh my god, just total ragdoll, complete ragdoll.
Oh, shit.
She's loving that.
Yep. Um, so anyhow, what I was saying was when I went to go get her, she was in this trailer and the woman had like 7 or 8 cats, but I think she was lying to me. I think she had more.
Oh,
The oh boy. I walked in the door. Well, she like because I was driving through like the trailer park she lived at, and she waved me over, and I parked over nearby, and then I walked in like she greeted me and everything, and then she had her in a cradle already, the kitten Lily here,
hmm.
and she's flailing her arms around.
Hi, Lily.
But you know, dude, my nose started burning right when I was in the driveway. But when I walked in the door, there were 2 litter boxes that were barely full, but everything of the contents of those litter boxes were on the floor.
Oh,
And there was a cat that was already in there and across the room already hissing at me. It was that bad.
well, it sounds like he got her out of a bad setup altogether, brother.
Oh, well, see, here's the thing. Is this lady sat here and actually told me with a straight face that she rescued cats. I'm convinced I rescued her.
Yeah, with that kind of setup, no shit.
Dude,
You-
it
You're
got worse
rescuing
when I
them from
walked
being
in,
up.
and I wasn't even in the fucking house. Like, I was literally at the porch. It was like a porch, like, a closed-in porch
Yeah,
type
like a
deal.
wraparound.
Yeah, well, no, not a wraparound. This is a trailer. It wasn't a house.
Oh, okay. So it was okay.
It was like one of
So
those, like, front porches with, like, you know what I'm talking about.
yeah, I've seen them before.
Yeah, so she had garbage laying everywhere. Like I said, the litter boxes literally had their contents all over the ground, their litter, and who ungodly, like, who knows what else. But it smelled so fucking bad in there, dude. My throat and my nose were burning for probably, I don't know, a week at least. Like, it was bad. It was really bad. And I'd only gotten to the porch. I can only imagine what the rest of the house was like.
Especially if it's just like straight up ammonia from cat piss
Yeah.
in fabric or in furniture, any kind of soft surface, whether it
Well, the
be
one cat that was hissing at me, I noticed it had like a jiggle in its head when it was hissing at me. It was like waving its head back and forth. I don't know what they call that, but I can tell you right now that ain't normal.
no, that that definitely doesn't sound standard. I'm
There
trying
was
to
nothing
remember.
sanitary about that place.
I'm trying to remember the name for it, but there is there's like a parasite that cats sometimes, especially when they're unclean. There's a
This was an
parasite.
older cat too. But yeah, I mean, I was convinced this cat was like feral in the house. Like, it was a feral house cat. The way it was acting, like it was stuck in its territory, and I was in its territory.
Right, you were an intruder.
Yeah, like
I'm
I
trying
wasn't
to.
even anywhere near this cat, dude. It was across the room hissing at me.
I just remembered the name of it. The condition it sometimes sets in with cats, and because of parasites that they're carrying, the condition is called toxoplasmosis. They carry this.
Toxoplasmosis.
Yeah, it's a condition that people develop if they pick up this parasite that some cats carry. Um, it affects the cat's behavior, but it doesn't affect them as badly as it does humans that the parasite ends up burrowing into. I can't remember the name of the actual parasite, but the condition is called toxoplasmosis. It renders people's personalities change. They end up becoming very high. They engage in high risk behavior. Um, it basically completely flips their temperament. Um, it's a horrific condition, and there's no known cure for it. There's no way to that we know of to kill this parasite once it gets into the brain.
All I know is this cat was like shaking its head like at me. I don't know why it was doing that, but it was, and it was hissing at me from across the room. I wasn't anywhere near it.
Yeah, that's good. It sees human. I don't know, and treats you like a.
The lady told me what it was, but I forget the name of it, but it was just shaking its head while it was, hissing at me. And I was just um, like, what the fuck? Like, how are you going to sit here and tell me that you're, helping these kittens and cats out, but you literally live in piss and shit, and you have cats that are literally trying to warn me before they attack me. I don't know. It was really bad.
Boy. Wow. Shitty circumstances she came from, but at least you did get her out of there.
Oh, for sure. But my whole point is like what I'm trying to get at is like honestly, I feel like if I had gotten like if I, had I not gotten her, she would have died.
Probably guaranteed.
And even then, like I said before, I don't think that was her only cat in that house. Like, well, I don't think the amount that she had told me that was in that house was in that house. I think she had
Right.
a lot more.
This is an undersell.
Mm-hmm. I really do.
I am going to have one more smoke. I'm going to step out in the garage here, or I am going to have to call it a go time, brother.
Yeah, no, you're good, man. I don't mean to get in like such a tangent over that, but it's just like
No, by all means.
me being there and then seeing her, like even the cradle, bro. When I brought that home, oh my god, that cradle stunk.
I assume you got rid of it.
Oh, threw it away immediately. I threw it
The
away
right call.
immediately.
That's the right call to make, brother.
I'll just say this: it's a wonder how that trailer has not been condemned.
Someone should probably, I imagine someone should or will report it at some point if it's not bad.
Well, she was giving up other kittens, so I would imagine if somebody else goes there, they'll probably do that.
Yeah, it's the humane thing to do to make sure she doesn't end up bringing in more animals that are just going to be in a complete suffer situation.
It was like this. You could tell she lost control of the whole
Yeah,
thing.
and and maybe at one point she had the best of intentions. And that's where it can get
Everybody
really
does.
hard.
You know, you don't want to
Right,
see
that's
animals get hurt. You don't want to see them get sick. You don't want to see them die.
right. And
But,
like you don't want them homeless, but you have to understand your own limits.
mm-hmm. Like, honestly, man, the
Know your
cats were
limits.
better living
Operate within them.
outside than living in there.
Well, yeah, a lot of cats are. They're one of the few domesticated animals that they're still so close to their instinctive behavior patterns that a
Mm-hmm.
lot of them can survive. They're left out to fend for themselves. I know my in-laws at the farm, they've got a barn cat out there, Kinnicky, who he comes and he roams into the house a lot, but he gets antsy when he's in the house for too long, and he'll like just sit there and scratch at the door, like "Let me out, man!" They
Mm-hmm.
and like they buy him cat food, but they can buy him one small bag of cat food, and it will last him for like 2 months because he goes outside and he kills shit around the property and eats it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a few months ago, he killed a chicken, and yeah,
That
I
sounds typical.
I don't necessarily blame him because it's a cat and it's a farm. That's nature. That's gonna
Mm-hmm.
happen.
Yep. That's the food chain, man.
Bark bark.
But I mean, it's just I couldn't believe it. I genuinely could not believe it when I was there when I picked her up.
That's not
But
good.
I think the worst part was she's like, "Well, I gave her a bath and, I put her, I put this treatment on her and this and that." And it's like, "Okay, but you put her in a cradle that smells like absolute piss."
I gave her a bath and then threw her in a vat of pee.
Yeah, she had this dirty towel in there in this cradle, and it reeked so bad.
Hold on 1 second, brother.
No, you're good, man. Stop. Oh. Little love bug.
Oh, Lily. Lily's
She's
sleeping.
just looking up at me.
Or she chill like that. She's a chill kitty cat. She kind of reminds me visually of she does remind me a little of a turtle shell.
Uh,
I don't know. Or
I don't know
not
about
turtle shell.
tortoiseshell because tortoiseshell's like black and peach color.
Yeah,
I've
maybe
had
I'm
one
thinking more.
before.
Oh, have you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
How's your
don't
paw
remember
wet?
all the cats that I've had over the years. I mean, I haven't had a cat in my home in like 11 years. Like shortly after I moved out here to Minnesota, you know, had a couple of kittens, but that's because
She
I
had to
was
sniff my
probably
nose
staying.
for a second.
That was because the people I was staying with the first like year and a half I was out here, they had cats. They had 5 of them. Although the 2 of them, they were almost never indoors. They were just like, nope, let us out. They had always been outdoor
Yeah, no,
cats.
she's an indoor cat. That's why I intend her to be.
Before
She's
I
very
go,
submissive too.
that does wrap me around actually through your cat. Back to a video game question or topic briefly. Did you ever play the game Stray?
I've seen it, but I never played it. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, apparently it's really top-notch gameplay experience.
I got to
The
get that, and I
studio,
got to get Psychosis.
yeah, oh, yeah. And giraffe zombies. Oh,
Well, they're like
um,
more like the parasite, more so because like it transforms the whole body.
yeah, it's just complete transmogrification.
And you go through the
The
whole
studio,
zoo with like different animals.
oh, can you imagine coming up against a hippo with that thing in it? Those critters are already deadly enough as it is. You add in a thing like parasite,
Could you imagine
done.
like a tiger or something?
Nope, nope. Give me a flamethrower or a gun with 1 bullet in it. That's all I need
Yeah.
because you only need 1.
Or give me
Yes,
the
I
incendiary
know.
grenade launcher from Resident Evil with incendiary rounds.
There you go. Star.
Or acid.
Yeah. The studio, the developers behind Stray, Annapurna Studios, Apparently, they were in talks. They were like in negotiations with, I forget who the larger company was that kind of they were owned by. They were up for contract renegotiation, and the entire studio said no to the deal and walked away. So now you've got this team of game developers who and programmers who they don't have an employer. Like they're kind of freewheeling now. They're out on their own. Nobody's really nobody knows what they're going to do now. Then they've made a couple of other games. I can't remember what, but Stray is what they're best known for right now because it's their latest, well-known project.
Mhm.
It was such a unique concept. I really am hoping that much like the cat in that game, that they'll land on their feet. Wordplay once again. I'm hopeful, but there's already been a couple of rumors, and the one that terrifies me is that they're being looked at by Sony.
Oh boy.
Now, Sony does not have a good recent track record with purchasing studios.
No, they don't.
Take a look at Firewalk and
Look
what
at
they ended up.
Helldivers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like the idea of a genuinely artistically talented team of developers and programmers getting snapped up by an outfit like Sony and then having their creativity corrupted. You know, I'm hopeful that they'll be able to find some kind of funding in order to develop their own thing without having to rely on a big corpo like Sony or like Microsoft. I'm really hopeful.
Yeah,
Open one hand, shit in the other, see which fills up first.
pretty much. But when it comes to something like Sony, man, I mean, look what they did to Helldivers 2. They made them sign into PSN accounts, and PlayStation, like the PSN network, is not available to all countries. So people were
No,
previously
it's
playing
not.
Helldivers 2, then couldn't play Helldivers 2.
Right, they lost their access.
Yeah, even though they bought the game.
Oh shit. Okay.
You
Well,
good?
brother, no, I'm gonna have to get going here. Like now, I gotta go wake the kiddo up, and then I'm gonna have to go get my wife because the top of her foot is now purple. So,
Yeah, you might want to go do that like right now.
yep. So I gotta go. Sorry about that. I'll catch you later, brother.
Yep, take it easy, and we'll see y'all later. We're out here. Peace out. Oop. I almost fucking played that. Jeez. Fucking stupid ass video from back then. I'll have to cut that out. Oh well. We're out here.